business stroke economic cycle. So as a result, we have a number of learning objectives that have been outlined as far as the chapter is concerned, and it is believed that at the end of this particular chapter, which we are looking at, students should have a comprehensive knowledge about what we call or term business cycle. So this happens to be the broad or general objective of this study pack, but specifically speaking, we equally have a number of objectives that have been underlined, and they are: 1. Students are able to 1. Define business cycle. 2. Explain the concept of boom, recession, depression, and recovery. 3. Understand the transition mechanism among the business cycle phases in an economy. And finally, students should be able to describe the different types of business cycles as contained in economic literatures. So as a matter of fact, so let's look at we have business or economic cycle. Business or economic cycle. When we talk of business cycle or economic cycle, we believe that business cycle is one of terms that is used to describe periods of good trade which is being characterized by rising prices and low unemployment percentage. Business cycles, these are some of measures that often affect economic output level or the output level of a given economy. So as a result, business cycles, some of the examples of business cycles are said to be advantageous, while others are what? Disadvantageous. But as a matter of fact, let's briefly look at a brief description of what business cycle is all about. A business cycle is composed of periods of good trade that is characterized by rising prices, and low unemployment percentages. Shifting with periods of bad trade and characterized by falling prices and high unemployment percentages. In short, business cycle can be regarded as the recurring and fluctuating levels, of economic activity. Trade and production that an economy experiences over a long period of time. It can also be conceptualized as economic cycle which implies changes in economic activities of the major economic agents, which are the individuals, the firms, and the government in trade experience in an economy. And as a matter of fact, these changes we are talking about in economic cycle are often in terms of output, income, employment, prices, as well as profits, and including trade balance, among others. All these are some of the changes that are usually encountered during any business cycle. So as a matter of fact, we have been able to look at a brief definition or description of what business cycle is all about, and we have seen it as what? As a form of recurring and fluctuating levels of economic activity, trade and production, which an economy experiences over a long period of time. So let's look at other concepts. Here we have features of business cycle. So it is believed that the term business cycle is underlined by a number of features or characteristics. And some of these features are: 1. We have movement in economic activity. Under this particular feature, we believe that a business cycle is a wake life movement. Wave-like movement in economic activity, which shows an upward trend, as well as a downward trend in a given economy. Let's look at other distinguishing features. We have 2. Periodical. Business cycle occurs or takes place periodically or at a regular interval or period of time. Though they do not show the same regularity. That is periodical as one of the features of business cycle. 3. We have different phases. Business cycle is characterized by different phases, such as prosperity, we have recession, we have depression, and recovery, among others. Those are the major phases that business cycle is known for. The next one is that of what? Different types. Yeah, there are minor and major. There are minor and major business cycles. Minor business cycles operates, or let me say usually operates, for 3 to 4 years That's for minor. While major business cycles operate for 4 to 8 years or more. Though they differ in timing, however, they have a common pattern of sequential phases. The next one is nature. Business cycles are said to be international in nature or character. For example, the Great Depression that was encountered in 1930s. So, for example, Great Depression of 1930s. Then the sixth feature is what? Duration. The duration of business cycles. The duration of business cycles may vary from a minimum of 2 years to a maximum of 12 years. That is duration of business cycle. Apart from that, the dynamics. Business cycles are said to be dynamic in nature as they change in all sectors of the economy. And however, fluctuations occur not only in production and income, but also in other variables like employment, investment, consumption, rate of interest, price level, and other macroeconomic variables. All these are some of the variables that change with the presence of business cycles. So which means that business cycles are said to be dynamic in nature as they change in all sectors of the economy. Other features are phases are cumulative in nature, and as a matter of fact, we believe that the expansion and contraction in a business cycle are cumulative in effect, that is increasing and or decreasing progressively. The ninth one is uncertainty to businessmen. Business cycles also bring about or introduce uncertainty in the economy. and this seriously affects the businessmen, and so on and so forth. All these are the major characteristics that underline the business cycle as a concept. So let's look at types of business cycle. Types of business cycle. Business cycle, as we have said, involve a number of dynamic forces which are operating especially in a capitalist economy, and this creates various kinds of economic fluctuations. So as a matter of fact, we can conveniently classify these fluctuations into a number of factors which are best regarded as the types of business cycle. So the first one, we are starting with what? Short-term business cycle. This is a type of business cycle which occurs for a short period of time. It is also known as minor cycle, and it lasts for about 3 to 4 years. We have secular trends. This type of trade or business cycle occurs for a long period of time, and it is known as long-term cycle. It often lasts for about 4 to 8 years or more. It lasts for about 4 to 8 years or more, and it is also known as major cycle. 3. We have seasonal fluctuations. This type of trade cycle, trade or business cycle, reverse to trade cycles which take place due to seasonal changes in the economy, for example, the failure of monsoon can cause a downtrend in the economy, which may be followed by a good monsoon and an uptrend. That's for seasonal fluctuations, and like we said, it simply reverses to trade cycles, and as a matter of fact, it takes place due to seasonal changes within a given economy. So we have irregular or random fluctuations. These trade cycles are unpredictable and occur during a period of strikes, period of strikes, war, and so on. However, they cause shock to the economic system. Then finally we have cyclic fluctuations. So these fluctuations are wave-like changes. Wave-like changes in economic activity. Caused by recurring phases of expansion and contraction. So under this particular type of business cycle, it is believed that there is an upswing from a low point to peak, as well as a downswing from the peak to trough, caused due to economic changes in demand or supply, as well as various other factors. So these are major types of business cycle we have in economic literature.